Welcome to the class. Today we will discuss impulse turbine. As we know that in impulse turbine, pressure drop takes place only in the nozzle. This is the nozzle and this one is the turbine. In case of impulse turbine, pressure drop takes place only in the nozzle, not in the turbine blade. Okay. Here different types are there. D-level turbine, pressure compounded impulse turbine, velocity compounded impulse turbine, impulse reaction turbine, and also we are going to discuss the difference between impulse and reaction turbine. Now let us see the first type of impulse turbine is D-level turbine. It is a single stage turbine. Here you can see in this figure, this is the shaft, this is the blade of the turbine, this one is the nozzle. Here nozzle is the convergent divergent type. The blade is fixed to the shaft. Here you could see the blade is fixed to the shaft, but the nozzle is fixed to the casing. This black shaded area is casing, so that the nozzle does not move. Moreover, in this figure, this blade looks like a rectangle, but it is not a rectangle. Here you can see in this figure, the blades are actually it's a curved shape. Okay, but when you see from front side, it look like a rectangle. So that is the reason in this diagram the blade look like a rectangle. Now let us see working of the D-level turbine. As we know that the steam will enter from the nozzle to the turbine blade. When steam entering through the nozzle, the function of the nozzle is it converts the potential energy into kinetic energy, so that the velocity of the steam will increase. At high velocity, the steam will flow over the blade. Okay. When it passes over the blade, it exerts a force on the blade so that the blade will rotate. Since the blade is attached to the shaft will rotate. This shaft will be connected to the generator. This generator will give electricity. Okay. After passing through the blade, it will come out through the exhaust. Here you could see this is the exhaust. Okay. This is the working of the D-level turbine. Here you could see this symbol shows blades. This is the nozzle. Through the nozzle, the steam is flowing over the blades. Now let us discuss how velocity and pressures are varying in the D-level turbine. Okay. Now here you could see they have shown with the dotted line. This area is the nozzle area because here nozzle is there. Okay. And this area is the turbine blade area. This area is the nozzle area. Okay. Between nozzle and turbine blade there is a gap. So this is the gap. In this gap there will be no change in the pressure and velocity. Now let us see how pressure and velocities are varying. This line is the velocity line and this continuous line is the pressure line. First let us discuss how pressure is varying inside the D-level turbine. As we know that initially the steam will enter into the nozzle. So when steam entering into the nozzle, the pressure will decrease, so that here the pressure line is decreases. After the nozzle, it will enter into the gap. In the gap, as I said, there is no change in the velocity and pressure. From the nozzle, it will enter into the turbine. So this is the turbine area. So that here the pressure is constant, because in the impulse turbine there is no change in the pressure when steam flowing over the blade. Only pressure changes in the nozzle. There is no change in the pressure when it is flowing through the blade. This we already discussed in the previous class. So that here the pressure is constant in the D level turbine. It is a impulse turbine. Now coming to velocity line. Here you can see this is the velocity line. I am showing with the red color line. As we know that when it passes through the nozzle, the velocity of the fluid will increase, because potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. So that is the reason why here this velocity is increased here. After nozzle, it will enter into the gap. Here there is no change in the velocity. From the nozzle, it will enter into the turbine. So this is the turbine area. Here, when it passing through the turbine, the velocity of the steam will decrease. So that here the line is coming down. So this is what happening in the D level turbine. So this area is the nozzle area. This area is the blade turbine. Now here the drawbacks are, after passing through the turbine, here you can see, after passing through the turbine, still this steam will have a energy. Okay, that kinetic energy it is almost around 10 to 12%. That is going waste out. So that we have to control. And the other drawback is, here the RPM is 30,000 RPM. Okay, the rotational speed of the blade is 30,000 RPM. But when we decrease the RPM, we can improve the efficiency of the turbine. So this is also drawback in the D level turbine. So these two drawbacks are modified in the compound type of turbine. So that is the reason why they developed a compound turbine. In compound turbine, instead of suddenly decreasing the velocity and pressure, in compound turbine, pressure and velocities are decreased in stage wise, so that the rotational speed will decrease, the efficiency of the turbine will increase. That we will discuss in the coming slide. Before that, here let us see what is the velocity. Here the velocity of the steam is 1100 meter per second, and the rotational speed of rotor, the speed of the blade is 3500 meter per second. Okay. Now Ratu turbine. It is a compound impulse turbine. Actually compound turbines are two types: pressure compound and velocity compound. Here Ratu turbine is a pressure compound impulse turbine. Pressure compound means pressure drop does not take place in a single nozzle. It will have a number of nozzles, so that pressure drop takes place in number of stages. As you can see here, this is the schematic of the Ratu turbine. As I said, it has a number of nozzles. So this is the nozzle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this, it has a number of nozzles. These nozzles are fixed to the casing, so that it does not move. Moreover, it has blades, series of blades. Here you can see blade. This is the blades. Here blades are fixed circumferentially as well as along the axis of the shaft. This is the shaft. Okay. Here blades are fixed to the shaft. So now let us see working of the reactive turbine. Here, as we know that from the boiler, the steam will enter into the nozzle. The function of the nozzle is potential energy of the steam is converted into kinetic energy. So the velocity of the steam will increase. With the high velocity, the steam will passing through the turbine blade. Okay. When it passes through the turbine blade, it exerts a force on the turbine blade so that the turbine will rotate. Since this turbine blades are attached to the shaft will rotate. This shaft is connected to the generator so that it will give electricity. Okay. But here in reactive turbine, it has a number of nozzles and series of blades. So the steam will flow. It will pass through the number of nozzles and also it pass through the series of blades. Here we can see N denotes nozzle, M denotes moving blade. Blades are two types, moving blade and stationary blade. In this case, in reactive turbine, it has a moving blades. Here, this N, this area showing the nozzle area. M denotes this area showing the moving blade area. So like that, here nozzle area and moving blades areas are divided by a lines, number of lines. Here you can see nozzle and blades are divided by a number of lines. Now let us discuss how pressure and velocities are varying in the reactive turbine. This dotted line showing the velocity variation, this continuous line showing the pressure variation. Now first of all, let us discuss how pressure is varying in the reactive turbine. Here you can see when steam entering in the nozzle, the pressure is decreasing because the function of the nozzle is by reducing the pressure, the velocity increases. So the pressure decreases here. From the nozzle, it will enter into the blade. As we know that in impulse turbine, when steam passing over the blade, there is no change in the pressure. Only there will be change in the nozzle. So here the pressure is constant when it is passing through the blade. So it is a straight line. Again from the moving blade, it will enter into the second nozzle. The pressure further decreased from the nozzle, it enters into the blade. Here the pressure constant, so that this way keep on the pressure decreasing in number of stages. Here when you observe carefully, instead of suddenly decreasing the pressure, here pressure decreasing stage by stage, so that the rotational speed of the turbine decreases, the performance of the turbine increases. This is the advantage of the reactive turbine. Now coming to velocity. This is the velocity line. Here you can see the velocity is increasing in the nozzle. This is the nozzle area. Here the velocity is increasing because the function of the nozzle is by reducing the pressure, it will increase the velocity of the steam. So here the velocity is increases. From the nozzle, again it enters into the blade. In the blade, when it passing through the turbine, the steam will expand so that the velocity decreases in the blade area. From the blade, again it enters into the nozzle, so the velocity increases. From the nozzle, it enters into the moving blade. Here the velocity decreases so that this way there is a rise in the raising and falling of the velocity, because here there are number of nozzles. So when it passing through the number of nozzles, the pressure, sorry, the velocity increases, and when it is passing through the blade, the velocity decreases. So here you can see, here velocity keep on raising and falling. So this is how the pressure and velocities are varying in the reactive turbine. Here, as we know that after passing through the turbine, still the steam will have a energy. Here that kinetic energy is, it is around 1 to 2%, just 1 to 2%, because the wastage is very less. So the efficiency of the turbine will increase. Now let us discuss Curtis impulse turbine. This is also a compound impulse turbine, but it is a velocity compound. It is not a pressure compound. Velocity compound means velocity is splitted, pressure is not splitted, which means here velocity is decreasing stage by stage, but pressure is not splitted because here it has only one nozzle. Here you can see in this figure, it has only one nozzle. Now let us see the working of the Curtis turbine. So this is the schematic of the Curtis turbine. Here we can see this is the single nozzle. This nozzle is fixed to the casing so that nozzle does not move. Interestingly, here two types of blades are there: moving blade and guiding blade. The difference between moving blade and guiding blade is when steam flowing through the moving blade, it exerts a force on the blade will rotate, it will move. But whereas in guiding blade, it does not move because this blade is fixed to the casing. Again I am repeating, guiding blade is fixed to the casing so that it does not move. But the function of guiding blade is it just guide the passage of the steam. That is the difference between moving blade and guiding blade. Here you can see moving blade and guiding blades are placed alternately. This is the working of the Curtis turbine. As we know that the steam enters into the nozzle from the boiler. The function of the nozzle is it converts the potential energy into kinetic energy of the steam. So the velocity of the steam will increase when it passes through the nozzle. From the nozzle, the steam will enter into the moving blade. When it passes through the blade, it exerts a force on the blade so that the blade will rotate. When blade rotates, the shaft also will rotate because blades are fixed to the shaft. When shaft rotates, since the shaft is connected to the generator, so the generator will give the electricity. Okay, but here, since it has a different type of blades, initially the steam passing through the nozzle, from the nozzle it will enter into the moving blade, from the moving blade it enters into the guiding blade, again from the guiding blade it will enter into the moving blade. This way the steam will flow over the moving blade and guiding blade. Here you can see N denotes nozzle, M denotes moving blade, G denotes guiding blade. Guiding blade is the stationary, so it is also known as a stationary blade. Now let us see how pressure and velocities are varying in the Curtis turbine. Here also blades and nozzles are separated by lines. Here you can see there are lines, it is separated by vertical lines. Here dotted line is the velocity line, this continuous line is the pressure line. First of all, let us see how pressure is varying in the Curtis turbine. So this is the pressure line. Here you can see when steam flowing through the nozzle, the pressure is decreasing, because as we know that the function of the nozzle is by reducing the pressure the velocity increases. So the pressure decreases in the nozzle. From the nozzle it will enter into the moving blade. So here you can see it enters into the moving blade. As we know that in the impulse turbine, when steam flows through the blade, there is no change in the pressure. Here pressure is constant. So here pressure line is the constant. So from the moving blade, it will enter into the guiding blade. As we know that the function of the guiding blade is it just guide the passage flow of the steam. So there is no change in the pressure. So keep on, it will move from the moving blade to guiding blade. So here the pressure is constant. As you can see here, so there is a gap between the moving blade and guiding blade, and also there is a gap between the moving blade and nozzle. Okay, in this gap there is no change in the pressure and velocity. Now let us discuss how velocity varying in the Curtis turbine. This is the velocity line. Here when steam passing through the nozzle, the velocity will increase, because we know that the function of the nozzle is by reducing the pressure it increases the velocity. So the velocity increases in the nozzle. From the nozzle it enters into the moving blade. Here you could see the velocity decreases, because when it is passing through the turbine, the steam will expand. So the velocity slightly decreases. So from the moving blade it enters into the guiding blade. In the guiding blade, since it is a fixed, there is no change in the velocity. So from the guiding blade it enters into the moving blade. Again in the moving blade the velocity decreases, because the steam is expanding here. So this way the velocity decreasing stage by stage in the Curtis turbine. So that, as observed here, since the velocity is reducing stage by stage, the RPM of the blade decreases. So the performance of the turbine will increase, the efficiency will be increased. So it is a velocity compound impulse turbine. So this is what about Curtis turbine. Now let us see pressure velocity compounding. It is a combination of pressure compounding and velocity compounding. As we know that compounding impulse turbines are two types, pressure compounding turbine and velocity compounding turbine. In pressure compounding turbine, the pressure decreases stage by stage. In case of velocity compounding turbine, the velocity decreases stage by stage. This we already discussed in the previous slide. Now let us see the combination of pressure and velocity compounding. So this is the schematic of the compounding. Here we can see at the bottom there is a decrease in the, so this is the pressure line, this line is the velocity line. Okay, so here pressure decreases stage by stage and velocity also decreases stage by stage. So that's why it is called it as a pressure velocity compound. Now let us see differences between impulse turbine and reaction turbine. In case of impulse turbine, pressure drop takes place in the nozzle only. But whereas in reaction turbine, pressure drop takes place in the blade also. When steam flowing over the blade, here also pressure drop takes place. The next difference is constant blade channel, which means cross-section area is constant in case of impulse turbine, because here we use profile type blade in case of impulse turbine. But in reaction turbine, we use aerofoil type. Foil type, this is the foil type. In this type of blade, cross-section area not constant. The next difference is partial admission, which means, as we know that in case of pressure compounding impulse turbine, it has number of nozzles. Say some, for example, here it has a, say some 4 nozzles. Okay. So the use of pressure compounding turbine, here pressure drop takes place stage by stage. Here the advantage is in case of impulse turbine. Say for example, if I want only 2 nozzles, I can use only two nozzles. I can stop the remaining 2 nozzles. So that is the partial admission. But in case of reaction turbine, we cannot do like this. The other one is pressure developed is more. In case of impulse turbine, pressure developed is more. The size of impulse turbine is less when compared to the reaction turbine. The efficiency also low in case of impulse turbine when compared to the reaction turbine. Generally, impulse turbines are used for low power generation, and here blades are lighter because manufacturing of impulse turbine blades are very easy. So these are the main differences between impulse turbine and reaction turbine. So with this I stop here. Next class we will see very important class, velocity diagrams for impulse turbine.